marching in. Oh, when the singing go marching in. Yes, I want to be in that number where the singing go marching in. Oh, when the singing.
Hi, Carol here. A warm welcome to my craft room and to my TONIC project, a mixed media canvas using the Jukebox Die. I took apart this Jukebox Die to make many little items to put on my canvas, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to share it with you. So first off, we're going to start with a lot of colored foil, which TONIC sells, but you don't have to have foiled paper. You don't have to, because we are going to use gesso, and you can cover either the foil. I kind of wanted the foil to shine through so that you could just see where it began, and I think you're really going to enjoy a canvas using one die. It's truly amazing. So let's take some black cardstock. I'm using the heavy-duty black cardstock and some round dies because this is a jukebox, so we're going to need some records, right? I sat and die cut all of the circles, and I did it out of the foiled paper as well because I thought I don't know how many records I'm going to need, and it was fun. You get these circles you can use on future projects, and this die, when you see how many objects we can get out of this one die, and not only that, we're going to make our homemade gesso, which I'm going to put on another tutorial to save time. It's my homemade gesso with a twist. I think you're going to love it, and I'll put it at the end of this video when I get the voiceover done for it, but it will be there. And also I'm going to use Chibitronics, but that will be on a separate video as well. I want to keep this TONIC project strictly to TONIC. I want to thank everybody for waiting for my project to go up because I have been learning the Chibitronics, and that's all I'm going to say, yes. And here I'm just going to, I was going to use this on one of my records, just put USA, TONIC USA, and I thought, no, I'm not going to use this because I didn't like the letters that came out. Yeah, sometimes you like what you do and sometimes you don't, and my lettering just wasn't up to par, so I thought, well, I'll just put that aside, you never know. And I kept punching out, you know, this is the 1/2 inch punch. I used, I think it was a 1.5 inch, an inch, just whatever circles you have. You're going to need records, so that's what I did. Now, here's the thing. I ran out of gesso. I couldn't believe it. Can you believe it? I couldn't believe it. I looked everywhere. So I thought, okay, that's fine. I have a new recipe for making your own white gesso, okay? And see, I'm not going to share it here on this video. I am going to put a video up because I think you are going to love it. And I'm going to pour it into my mason jar, and I checked it this morning, and it's as white and gorgeous as when I made it. Now, this is a 39-hour video that I brought down to under 50 minutes. Yes, there was a lot of working going on in my craft room, a lot of fun, and a lot of creations, a lot of creating actually, and you know, stepping outside your comfort zone, and that's what I love to do. So I'll put that aside, and we're going to get going on the canvas. This is an 11 by 14 inch canvas. I took all my records and my jukebox in every color, and then let the fun begin. I love the jean material showing through on this. I took a 1.5 inch paintbrush. I dipped it into my fabulous gesso, my homemade gesso. Wait till you see what I make this out of. So crazy easy, but yet I put a twist in it so that it will last longer and it's smooth. That's what I like about it. It is ultra smooth. So this is a dollar store. You know my dollar store where nothing's a dollar. Paintbrush, and we're just going to go around all the edges with our gesso, leaving some of the material showing, because that's the beauty of canvas. You don't want to cover it all up, but I do want the elements to stick and thus the gesso. And as you can see to the side there on the right, I do have a small little 1/8 of an inch punch, and I think it's a little 1/16 of an inch punch. Just small ones to put the hole in the center of our records. And this, yes, this is Nouveau crystals, Nouveau drops. That's what we're using, the crystal drops in whatever color you want your background to be. In my case, I will list the colors I used. Love this tangerine. Just squirt it all out there, take a baby wipe and work it into your gesso. And this is going to give you that beautiful background where everything is going to come together. I'm wiping down my gesso, setting it aside. Then I was looking over to on my craft island and I saw this Tim Holtz tool for mixed media. It makes all kinds of grooves on these acrylic little plates that you have. It goes in a ring. I'll show you them right here, and it's for doing any type of mixed media. It makes the staff lines 5 lines, 4 spaces in the actual canvas, which is really nice because you can put your musical notes in there and your treble clef and all the wonderfulness that we're going to develop out of this one die. Pure gold. I love it. Raining gold. And I love the fact when you take a die, you look at it to see what other elements you can get out of that one piece. And here I'm taking the Tim Holtz brushes, the collage brushes, to put the gesso on. And I started with these. You know me, I always start with something here and end up using my fingers. But I thought, okay, I'm going to stick to trying to do it with products, because I mean we could do it with our hands forever, but here we go. I'm taking some of that wonderfulness of gesso that I just made. I'm covering up some of the section of the jukebox and the foil, and we're going to do the same thing with our fingers on the record. You want to cover it, and look how smooth that gesso is. It's fabulous. It really is. It just works like a dream. And I want to leave some of the grooves in the record, the 45, so that you can tell it's a record, but I also want to add some color. So I took out some acrylic paints, 3 or 4 of them, and look at that beautiful color. I'm going to heat set the gesso. I want it to be dry to apply the chalk paint and also my acrylic paint. I mixed them up. The yellow is acrylic, and the other 3 colors are chalk paints. You can use either or, and they work beautifully. I took some of my chopsticks here, and I'm applying it pretty liberally and putting it on, and then just taking my fingers. That's what mixed media is all about. It is about getting your hands involved with the project. You know, I don't know, it's very relaxing, and the gesso's hanging on to this stuff, which is beautiful. You don't have to put another layer on with my recipe, and I will leave that. I'll get that on so I can put it up and at the end of this tutorial. But right now, I wanted to use this TONIC Jukebox and show you all different ways of taking and cutting apart one die to get many images. That was my goal. And of course, to use this 45 record, I thought that was awesome. It dries quickly. Just add whatever colors. I did not want to go with the, you know, your typical jukebox 50s theme with the black and red. And I wanted to switch it up to soft colors, pastel colors, and still get you know, the 50s feel. I thought a 50s birthday, like a happy 50th, would be awesome on this. And I do have a jukebox, so the Jukebox Die just went hand in hand. At the beginning, I showed you a picture of the jukebox my husband surprised me with. And yeah, it's just beauteous. Look at that. You just put some yellow on there. I stuck with the teal, the peach. It's kind of a tangerine peach, and the yellow. And I think it's beautiful because the same colors with the Nouveau crystal drops are in the canvas. So let's see, we're just going to clean up. We have to do that, of course. once you make the mess, you've got to clean it up. And that's why the paper towels are nice to have, to put down, to work with. There's that color. I'm trying to get it in frame. And you can go, like I said, once you get your gesso down on your project, you can pretty well cover it with anything. And a nice wet cloth is nice to have. And this stipple brush worked wonderfully. I just went around the edges because I wanted to get the grooves in the record. And the only way you can get that I could figure out is to have a stiff brush. And this stippling brush worked out perfectly. So I went around there. I'm going to heat set it. I went up and down to make the lines on my jukebox. And mainly it took some of the paint off. I wanted to see some of that beautiful foil underneath. It dried quickly. So I was able to just, oh yeah, excuse me, do you want to just get off my record? You know all my tutorials, they're going to be there, my little puppies. So I heat set it once again, and it does dry quickly. Then I went over it with the stippling brush, just a little bit stiffer than a normal paintbrush. And then we're going to move on. And here I'm going to show you the edges of our jukebox, our little pop cans. Oh yeah, or tonic water. How's that? And this piece is the center to go inside the record. And the top of the jukebox, there was a round piece, looks perfect. And then you have your treble clef, and you're going to get your musical notes. I was able to make flags. All kinds of things. And look at the colors once they're dry. Isn't that fabulous? And then you have all of this to work with, all this real estate to cut out. I made little straws out of the side. You're going to see me cut off. I'm pretty well going to cut up the entire jukebox. This is the center for my little records. And that was at the top of the jukebox. And then the treble clef and the musical notes to the side. And you're going to get a flag in there. This is just a perfect little center for the 45. Remember those little discs you used to get? Now, once we get all the little nubbies off there, I'm going to cut around. That's going to be for my musical notes. Here's my little pop cans or tonic water. You can use it either or. You're going to put vellum behind this, and you're going to cut off little straws. You're going to have curvy straws on here, because the jukebox has the line that curves off. You're going to have straight straws like right here. Let me get a close-up. Turn it over, grab a red marker, and just make some diagonal stripes, and you have yourself a 50's little straw. Isn't that awesome? I had a lot of fun playing around with this one die. Yes, I love it. And here's our flag. Yes. There's your flag, United States of America. And I made a flag out of the jukebox right there. You could have a whole line of flags. So many projects you could make with this one die. Look at that. I mean, I just couldn't get over how many things I could cut out of this one die to make a full project. So now I need to dig deep because the Tim Holtz hanger is beautiful. I have these. You could hang your project, your canvas on that. And I needed to have some 50's dresses. And here, look at that. If you want dresses, I have tons of them. Yes, I give a lot of things away, random act of kindness, and I wrap them up like this, and I put them in envelopes when I send out my cards. They're die cuts. And so other people can enjoy the dies that I have. I will put them into my cards. So here I needed two dresses, a dress form, and a heart. That's what I used out of here, because you have to have, if you're doing a jukebox, think about it. You need a little poodle skirt or a poodle dress in my case. So I'm going to add gesso. I found some, I had already put my gesso away, so I found here with my stippling brush a little tube of gesso that I had. I mean, that tube wasn't going to do my canvas, but it sure did work on the dresses. And there you go. I put a crisscross on the top of that one dress. They're both different styles of dresses, if you noticed. And then I'm going to draw some little poodles on there. So we have ourselves a poodle skirt dress. How's that? And we're going to raise them up so we have some dimension on the dress form, and all is well. There's nothing but fun on this project for my TONIC project number 3. The first one, my first TONIC, I'll leave all of the videos for my projects. So let's get drawing on top of the gesso, and look how nice it works with a pen. This is just a precision marker. And now I'm going to draw the funniest poodle you've ever seen. It started out to be a poodle. You might have to work your marker a little bit, but it started out really well, okay? I started going, I got the little face there. Oh yeah, almost, but you know what? It started to look like a dash hound or something. I should have made the face just a little more pointy than it just cracks me up when I see it. But you know what? That's all. That's the fun of it. And I wasn't going to change it. I thought it was cute because I end up with 2 dresses. So I ended up drawing a cute little poodle, a tiny poodle, on the next dress. But I needed this because I'm going to use those chibi lights. And so I needed to have cutouts. And the poodle fur was perfect to put some lights behind there. I will leave that tutorial up if you want to see how you can apply between, I used 3 chibi lights on this, I used 5 on my record, and I used 19 of them on my jukebox. Oh yeah, lots of work, and that's why it took me so long. That's why the tutorial started out 30-something hours of work, because of the Chibitron lights. But I couldn't not light up the jukebox. My jukebox lights up, and I wanted to light this up. So once again, I'm going in with the Nuvo drops, the white, and then I'll get the color for you here in a second. Actually, I'll leave it all on my blog. You don't have to worry. And it makes perfect poodle fur. Look at that. The Nuvo crystal drops work for so many things. It adds texture to just about anything. I end up making folds and creases in this little dress with my Nuvo drops, and they can be colored over top. You can put spray, but I wanted to keep this project pretty neutral. I wanted to stick with just the bare necessities, so to speak, and I wanted to see what I could do with the Nuvo drops, the Jukebox Die, a canvas, and here I'm just taking the Nuvo drops and drawing some lines in my dress. Thought it was kind of pretty. Once you put the gesso over the dress, it will stick and dry wonderfully. Now I'm going to go over it with my, this is, let me see here. This is my enamel black enamel accents. You can use the Nuvo drop black. I didn't have any, so I had to use this, but I just outlined my poodle that looks like a schnauzer. It's a schnauzer dress. What can a Scottish, it's a Scottish, oh, I don't know my dogs. I have a Bull Mastiff, but it looks like a Scottish little dog. Look at that. That face is not a poodle. I'm sorry. I can't help it. It started out to be almost poodlish, didn't it? But I'm keeping it. Oh yeah, you know me. I just keep at her. And whatever, it's like a schnauzer 50s dress. I don't know. I just think you should just have fun and go with it. So let's get everything off of there. You have your beautiful, we're going to get the notes on our music lines. And now goes into the Chibitronics. I'm not going to put that on there. It was my first time using Chibitronics, so I'm just going to show you the last part of it. I'm even choking thinking about it. Hours and hours of learning how to put lots of lights behind my project, because you can't have a jukebox without it lighting up. So I did use the Chibitronics, and I will leave a video to show you how I did this on, you know, using them on this project for you later. So here we have it. I need a back on it, so I'm going to use my thick white cardstock. You can see the center cut out of the jukebox there. It's going to go behind the center circle. You have our little poodle schnauzer dress on the right. And here is, oh yeah, there was my head. And now we're going to add some of our Nuvo glue. We're going to put it down on the center of this. You know, this looks like an old-fashioned radio. I mean, I could have put that on there. I never even thought of it until right now when I'm doing the voiceover. Wouldn't that be an awesome 50s radio? But for now, I'm going to cut some yellow vellum. I'm going to put it on the back of the 45 so that I have somewhere to seat my 50s radio. With that round disc, so it looks like the disc was made for the back of this 45. Now, isn't this a fun project? I mean, really, you're using your Nuvo drops, you're using your scrapers, your Tim Holtz scrapers to make your music lines, and there you have it. I mean, you can't get any, let's see, not easier. It is an easy project, but it's simple. It's simplistic in nature, and yet it's so much fun. And did I thank you already for joining me for my third tonic video? Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate it. I know my tutorials are not short tutorials, but you know what? They're packed full of fun. I enjoy every second of what I do. And this is no different. This just really pushed my creativity, and that's what I love. I love to take something and go with it and see what you can create. Yes, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Crafting, it's creating. So here we go. I'm taking the back off of my record. Oh yeah, that's Scotch brand tape 3 high. You've seen it here, folks. 3 high on my Scotch double-sided tape roll. Then I added for security on my record some hot glue. And look at that. It's wonderful. And then when you go to press it, oh yeah, I'm going to leave that to, see? Oh, yeah. Look at that. It's lighting up. I want to leave that for later though. That's my surprise at the end of my project. So here we go. I love yellow. I love the pastel green, kind of like the turquoise, the pink, orange shining through. And now let's get us some records. We need some records on the back of this because when you work with Chibitronics, you need to cover the battery operated mechanism. So if you see these little things that I had to add, that's why. But I'm not going to share that. This is a tonic video for my design team, for me designing as their design team member. And I wanted to just show you everything you can do with the jukebox. So here's our little pop cans or our tonic water. I'm making all these little straws, bendable straws, because on that jukebox you can see that some of the lines bend, and I use that to my advantage. And I put vellum on the back, and now I took my Tombow marker and I'm going to just add some lines on there. A red pen, Nuvo red marker would be fabulous. I would have used that if I had it, but this is what I had in my stash. And I made the 50 straws. I loved it. And I tell you what, you really do enjoy taking something and creating something different from it, from out of it, actually. I left it so it was tonic water. You thought I was going to put Coca-Cola on there, didn't you? Oh no. So here comes my little real poodle. Yeah, I put a little poodle. There it is, that little wee pointed face and his little tufts of fur, his little tail. Now, that's much better, right? That looks like a poodle. Look at my schnauzer up there. I keep calling it a different dog because every time I look at it, it looks like a different dog to me. There it goes. Oh, I touched it. Yes, I'm just seeing whether it works. It does. Yeah. So there's 3 Chibitronics in there. There's 5 in my record. And there's, I think I said nine. There, look at his fur lights up. Oh, I couldn't stand it. It's just this project, even though it took me over a week, I worked every day, and I couldn't wait to bring it to you because I was super, super excited. I love when I can take an item and change it into many, many, many different items. And that's what I did with the jukebox. And thank you so much. Once again, I'm putting them on the musical notes here. I'm going to have 5. And first of all, you're going to, oh, this is a riot. Wait till you see this. Yeah, it was just one thing after another. It started with my non-poodle dog dress. And then, you know, I'm going to take a break from yakking so fast here, but I get super excited when I do any project. I'm looking to where to put this flag. Okay, is that funny? This dress person has no arms, so how can I hang it off of the dress? No, I just set it there for later. And I had to decide which color I was going to use on this project for the jukebox, and I went with the matching color to the record. But I'm going to use all of the elements out of this one. And look at this. I was going to make some quarter notes, even half notes, any type of notes. And my notes came out looking like ducks, duck heads. So I have a non-poodle dog and duck head notes. Look at it. I couldn't stand it. Or it looked like, I don't know, musical notes in the wind. And then I took the vellum and I made a little record case there. That is going to be situated in another spot. I took some of my Nouveau crystal drops, and we're going to use that. And it's, I'm sorry, it's crystal glaze. I can't stop looking at my duck heads. Just hysterical. But you just keep creating. I just kept looking at it going, Carol, there's just, they look like they're swimming. Like they look like they're bobbing in water. I can't. So then I thought, okay, I'll take my Nouveau drops. What do you see what I do then? And that is the process. That is the process. I put some hot glue down the sides of my vellum because that is my wonderful record case, and I had to cover that blob of hot glue in the right lower corner, so I put a little heart. And here we have the record. All my records will have the Nouveau glaze on it. All the black on the records will have Nouveau glaze. It just looks like a record that way to me. I don't know, for some reason. So I had to wait until all of this dried before I went on to something else that was close to it, that I was creating, near it. But when it dried, it did look more like a record to me. And I look around and I say, oh, where can I put it? What can I do, And I'll tell you what you can do, Carol. Get rid of those duck heads. With a straw, it's too much for me. Even in the voiceover, looking at it to do the edit, it's just, they're cute. Oh yeah, they're cute, but it just didn't go. It just wasn't, a music, it didn't go with the music theme. Let me put it that way. So here I'm covering up my battery with this record. And then I need to cover more of it on the top, but we'll do that later. I have to wait for the Nouveau glaze to dry. It doesn't take long. And I'm going to go over it with my pen so that you can see the tuft on the Schnauzer poodle dress right there. I love him. He's so cute. Yes. You have to go with what you draw, right? And then I'm going to take this dress. I cut that other piece off and I put the top portion of the dress on the top portion of the black. And now I'll use the Nouveau drops to create some texture. And I put some little dots around so it looked like kind of like a pearl necklace on the top of the dress. And I have I think I'm going to put the glaze. I'm just going to put some up here to look like there's folds in the dress with the Nouveau drops, the crystal drops. And yeah, there's more than dots you can make with your crystal drops. And look at that. Look at my musical duck head. Look at that. I thought, okay, I'll make it look more like a note on there. And I thought, Carol, just leave it for a minute, okay? Let's go on and take this record, put some more of the crystal glaze on it. And that's what I do, you know. If I see something, I don't let it frustrate me. I just keep sitting there thinking, what am I going to do? Oh, look at that. I cut the right-hand one right under my pinky, well, to the right-hand side of my pinky. Yeah, nothing, here I'm trying to write on the vellum. I was going to write tonic, and then I made the mistake and came down like a G. And like I said, gesso, G for gesso. We're just going to add that to the mistake. It just makes it more vintagey. Vintagey, I love that word. And put a little bit on your heart, add a treble clef, and why don't we add a quarter note, and we will be all set on our cup. Oh, yeah. No, he says, get rid of those ducks. Yes, thank you so much. So I tore those off, and I will use my treble clef, and I'll use my quarter note, and it'll match the case. Look at that. And that will be our notes right here with our little wee tonic waters on them, on each of them, 5 of them, with our 50 straws. I love the bent one there on the end. Isn't that cute? And then you can add some gesso over top of the foiled note and treble clef if you like. Gesso is wonderful. The more gesso you put on, the more aged you can. I put it right here. I wanted to cover the name of the record, so I added that. And even if I didn't add the white gesso on this, I will move back for you. It wouldn't have mattered because I did put enough on top of it to cover it. But I thought the white was nice. It kind of stood out, and it worked for me. And I got to play with my homemade gesso, so that was awesome. And here we go. We're just going to move back, hopefully so you can see the whole picture of it. I'm going to hot glue my dress form, and then I'm going to add the dress to it. We are going to have both dresses have dress forms. So here we go. Let's add it. Give it a little ghosting. Push it down so you have a little edge to it. I'll take, there we go. And I'm waiting for those records to dry. I'm going to add some of the crystal drops on the skirt, just the bottom portion. I like the look of the gesso on the upper portion of that dress. I put gesso on the dress form on the bottom, and I think this is really cute with this poodle right here. And I did add some crystal glaze to the poodle, but I did it first because I knew that I didn't want it to be thicker than what I put on the dress, and I love the way that those crystal drops dry. Here's the hot glue to set our 45 on. We have that dress where I put the pearls on the top. That'll dry. And my musical notes have made me happy. We're just going to add those with a little touch of Nouveau glue to each one of them. And doesn't that look better? Oh my. It just, yeah, some things just don't go. And I do like the tonic water on each of the musical quarter notes. Whole notes, they could be whole notes, you know, whatever notes you want to make with them. And yeah, I'm looking to see, you really couldn't put it on like, you know, I thought, okay, why don't I do FACE on the insides of the bar? But I thought, no. Just put it anywhere, Carol. Don't get too technical here. Just put you some notes on those lines. And that's what I did. And yeah, this was a week's worth of fun for me. And I'm so thankful I got around to doing the voiceover and the editing. I knew I had hours of editing to do, but just fun. This whole project using the TONIC Jukebox. Just looking at that jukebox brought this project to my mind. And yeah, excuse me. You knew he was coming, didn't you? I can't help myself. Yeah, just fun. You can't have a fun TONIC canvas without my little dog. I'm sorry, you just can't. And yeah. I could have put him going across and stepping on all of the Nouveau glaze, couldn't I? No, we can't do that. And yeah, just taking a die like this jukebox. And I even cut the jukebox differently when I put the Chibitronics in it, because there was 19 lights in there. And I had to use 2 batteries for that. But you'll see how I cover it up, and I'll leave that on another video for you if you're interested. So here I placed my record case, and then here comes the design of the actual canvas. I slid down this record into the case for now, and just in case I needed to take it out to do something else to it, I left it without having glue. And then we're going to work on the jukebox. I need to put all those lights inside, and yeah, that's why it was like 8 days of a project. If you don't light it up, and if you just use what I used, it isn't a long process canvas to use as a gift. I'm sliding it over top here. This is where I had the metal tape for the Chibitronics, and I had to cover that. And so I thought, yeah, it's just going to look like my little dash hound poodle mix dress. I tell you, you have to have something like this, don't you, when you do a project? It can't all be perfection. Are you kidding? Yeah, my tutorials aren't perfection. My tutorials are fun. That's what I set out to do, is to just have some relaxation. And here I wanted to add some little excuse me, some little pieces to the dress so it looked like it had some folds in the back. More dimensional. So I just took another skirt, added some gesso, and then cut the corners off, added it to the back of this dress, and then you're going to get a little bit of flow to your dash poodle and your Scottish poodle. That's what that is. And yeah, I'm just cutting a bit of the top off. You know, you can tell when you're looking at this video how much fun it is to create a canvas. And you could make a matching card with just doing a dress. I'm showing you the sides there. That way it hid some of the metal tape as well. And I'm going back and I'm just looking at it and saying, you know, this was a lot of fun. And I need to put a record there because that's what you're going to press. I got out my thickers. They're my sponge thickers. And I'm going to write the word tonic on the side. And wouldn't you know it, you should always check your thickers, you know, that all the alphabet's there, because you get sticking this stuff on. I never press it down hard anyway when I first put them on, but I have ton, and then my I, and I didn't have a C. Yeah, that's okay, because that's what I love when I do my projects. You know what? You got to create a C. So I took a G. Back to the G. It always goes back to the G, doesn't it? And I made a C out of the G and put it on there. It went perfectly. I just love it. Tonic. Yeah, nobody'd ever know unless they watched this tutorial, right? There's your C right there. And you have tonic. And I am proud as can be to design for Tonic and use this jukebox over at Tonic. You're going to love it. You're going to love it because look at all of the objects you get off of one piece. And here I'm just setting up for my Chibitronics. That's what I'm doing because I'm going to add quite a few lights behind this jukebox. And I said 19, but I really think it's 16. I don't know now because I covered it up, but it's either 16 or 19 lights. And there you go. I think it's 16. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ooh, I don't know now. Yeah, I kept adding. You'll see all of the little X's. That's where my lights are going to go. And I thought I'd just keep it in to show you how we are going to do that. So much crazy fun. I couldn't stand it. Look at everybody's having fun. Yes, this tutorial is there. There you go. Look, I was so excited when you pressed that. It actually worked. And in this video, I'm going to give you some Chibitronic ideas that for not getting frustrated if something breaks in your line. I was able to figure out how to fix all my mistakes and not have to redo it 10 times, you know. And so I'm going to share that in the tutorial, how you can add as many lights as you want. And if things happen and things crack or break or your line isn't right, I'll show you how to make it right without having to redo it. So that tutorial will go up. I had to figure that out because there's no way you can keep, you know, you'd use up all your copper tape. So here I'm adding more lights, so I have to add some more copper. And I wanted to just keep this into my TONIC project to show you how much you can do that. You can do this on your cards, not only mixed media, and I'll show you how easy it is to, to fix things. That's what I do. I don't throw anything out if I can help it, and I like to correct my mistakes and see how you can correct them. And I actually did that on my own. And it worked out perfectly, and I will, you know, that way you use the product again, right? If you can figure out how, if things don't work, how to remedy it. So let's get back to our wonderful jukebox. I'm going to add some bright pink vellum to the bottom where my tonic water was, or is. I'm going to add yellow right here to the inside, and it's as easy as that. And you don't need it to be perfect. You don't have to go around the notes or the treble clef or whatever. Just get it on there because you need to hide the Scotch glue strips because they're 3 high. And and there's, you know, lots of it in there. So you just want to put a covering here first before we put on the tape. There you go. And see how I cut the center out of the jukebox? I wanted you to see more of the lights. So if you see the jukebox and you go, oh, where's the guts to that, Carol? I cut it out. I wanted to see more colored lights behind it. And I did it to the sides as well. So cute, look at it. Still looks like a jukebox, even though I had to kind of make it a jukebox fixer-upper. Took a baby wipe to get any glue off of my vellum. And now we're going to get to the color. Wonderful, wonderful color. And now I'm testing out, putting my batteries in to see if all my lights work. There you go. And that my it's all in the right spot when I place my jukebox down. You want to make sure that it's on the hole, in the holes, right? You don't want, after all that work, you don't want them to be behind the cardstock. So I'm just throwing that out there. Now we're going to seat the jukebox on top, and we're going to go back to our canvas. And don't you love the way that the jean material showed through? Kind of vintage as well. And I put my main lights, I took them off. I'm sorry if it looks kind of dull at your end, but I wanted to show you the lights. And when I was checking the lights, I shut my large studio lights off and forgot to turn them back on. So, yeah, it's just, what do you do, right? And here, my husband had bought me a big basket full of chocolates and all kinds of goodies. I put it on Instagram way back, about a month ago, and it had this sweet shop ribbon tied around it, and I kept it. I knew I would use it. And I mean, the 50's sweet shop, you used to go to the sweet shop to get sweets. You'd take your sweet, and you would get some sweets. And look at that. I put it 3 times on the bottom. It had the name of the chocolate place on it. So it just had the name, you know, Nye's Sweet Shop. So I took the Nye's off and I left the sweet shop. That's why we have a stash, right, friends? Our stash comes in handy for sure. And then I added more records to cover up the Chipatronics. And there's 4 lights down there on that circuit. And then there's 16 or 15 on the other circuit. You can't work too many lights off one battery because it won't last that long. Then I situated the records so you didn't see it. And then look at that. Oh yeah, we have power, folks. Yeah. And then I put a heart right there because that heart, you're going to press that heart to either put the 4 lights on or the 14 or 15 other lights. You're going to press the main blue button. And when I, you know, give this away, I will make sure I put it in the card which buttons you have to press. Look at that. Oh, fun. I was going doot, 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 doot. Yeah, that one had 4. And if you pressed it a certain way, there, look at that. Yes, doot, 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 doot. My schnauzer poodle is so happy, isn't he? Look at him up there. Yeah, and then I light him up. I'm so proud. Somebody's going to say, is that supposed to be a schnauzer skirt? I thought they had poodle skirts. Oh my, so much fun. That's all I can say. I'm going around doot, 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 pressing them. I might have to keep it for myself because it's just way too much fun. And look at my little tonic water light up. Because when you light the other lights, the reflection goes over onto your tonic water. Perfect. I'm going to put all the stuff away so I don't add any more to this project. I'm going to add some of the Nouveau Crystal Glaze. I love this. It dries quickly and it has that wonderful glow to it. I love it on the black cardstock. And I love taking the time to create this TONIC project as a design team member for TONIC. This is my 3rd project, and I hope you'll check out the other 2 projects. I'll leave them at the end of this tutorial. I hope you had fun while you sat down and watched my tutorial. There you have it, Sweet Shop, all the records, the Schnauzer poodle dress, and my poodle dress. I did add a poodle dress. Doot, 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 doot. That's what I was doing. Look at doot, doot. Yeah, nobody has more fun than I do making my projects. I mean, that's what we do. We love to create. And it's no difference whether you make a card or a canvas. It is all creative fun. So thank you for subscribing. As always, you know I really appreciate that. I appreciate your thumbs up if you liked it and you want to share that you did. Please leave me a like, a thumbs up, and then your comments. They mean the world to me. So thank you very much. Thank you to TONIC for letting me design for them. And thank you to this wonderful die, the jukebox. And thanks for letting me share my jukebox downstairs with you. And there we go. I can't keep my hands off it. Yeah, so have yourself a blessed week, and I'll see you on my next TONIC project. It was so much fun. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everybody.